Thanks, existence. I appreciate that. I should be sorted now. I should be sorted now. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, all. I'll just clip that out. It's fine. Yeah, we've got loads of stuff today. I haven't looked in depth at the reveals, but I have had just like a quick skim through just to see what new stuff was coming. And there was loads of stuff in there. I mean, I don't think there's loads of new stuff, but it looks like a really solid release for Empire. I'm genuinely excited about it. Looks really good. We've also got some Orcs and Goblin models from Sigmar we'll have a look at as well. Once we've done that, have a look at the new ranking system that Gomo's put out. Really excited about that one. And then, yeah, I've got a tournament next weekend. So if we get to that, I'll have to build a list with what I have available, because I do not have the time or the motivation to write a list. Hey, John's here. Good to have you, buddy. How is everyone doing on this cold... God, it's so cold evening. Still no sound. Oh, fuck.
The service is rendered. I may not have gone with the heralds, but your thoughts helped me make the right decision and save some time and money. Rat, greater than wolf, ocean wave.
All right. How do we sound now? Are we all okay? Is it working? God, what a fucking shambles, boys. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Perfect. I appreciate that. All right. Let's just have a fresh start. And I can clip all that out in a 24 hours time. So, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever it is you are. Hope you're having a good day. I am cold as fuck. It is freezing here. I have a duvet over my lap, which is helping. I forgot my blankets. The last 2 days I've just been sat at my desk, duvet on lap, blankets around me, just huddled in, trying to make the most of this fine British winter we're having. But we've got some previews. We've got Empire. We've got a couple of Age of Sigmar greenskins to have a pick through, because there's some really nice models in there. Then we'll get on to the rankings, and then at the end I've got a tournament next weekend that I don't have the time or energy to paint a full army in a week, so the Wood Elves are staying on the shelf, so I need to choose what I'm going with. But I'm feeling like maybe we just run Dark Angels back, so we'll go from there. And yeah, perfect. Let's start off with the Empire. So, very nice wolf chariots. Yeah, we'll get to those. Like I say, I haven't really looked through these. I have opened them up and had like a super quick skim through just to see what we've got. But it's, yeah, looking solid. So, what have we got here? A little bit of fluff to get in. Starting with a packed battalion box. I can probably not get away with playing that video. I don't know if they copyright their stuff, but they probably should, so let's not get struck down early on in the day. Battalion and Arcane Journal. So you can kickstart your own army with a battalion box with 61 models, 30 state troops, 30 state missile troops, and a steam tank. That feels kind of low. That feels fairly low, actually. I feel like if we go to the recent ones... Archie, how you doing, boy? Yeah, so if you look at the Orcs and Goblins, you've got 73 models here, and that's including 2 chariots. I feel like they've got a bit light on the Empire, because Empire infantry are not... They're not better than Goblins. They probably should be, but they're not better than goblins. The stank is nice. Steam tank's great. It does mean that you're never going to want to buy 2 battalions. Sometimes, they're a good thing to double up on. Although, I guess, to be fair, they're not great if you're looking at Old World specifically. So, a little bit of an odd choice there. Lots of infantry. I guess you could kit bash them together and make 60 missile troops for Nuln, the one that we have already had previewed. Maybe? I'm not sure about that. I'm not sold on... Yeah, this is an interesting approach. Anyone in the least bit interested should pick up the Arcane Journal or just find the rules online. Rules for 2 armies of infamy. So we know that we're getting city-states and Nuln, and then we've got the knightly orders, plus special characters, units, and magic to take into battle. And magic. Okay, so that says to me that we're getting spell lore and or laws. Maybe we're getting some signature spells that we can swap into with Empire Wizards. I think that would make a big difference. Special characters, units, and magic to take into battle. Interested to see what those are going to be. And then, as always, you can spend loads of money on dice and a reference card pack. You get more models than the Chaos one. Yeah, well, that's because each Chaos Warrior is, I think, about 3 or 4 times as expensive points-wise as an Empire model. Yeah, I don't know. That feels like an odd one. So normally they go for a bit of a mix, right? Here, I feel like if they went with half of the troops and then like 10 cavalry even, that would be better, although that would be really low. It just kind of feels like they've cheaped out on this box. If the steam tank is the thing stopping them from putting anything better in, maybe they should have just gone down to 1 infantry, 2 units of knights or something like that. I don't know. It's an interesting and odd choice. And then nice bit of art there. Doesn't feel very Empire. This feels more modern Age of Sigmar in terms of sort of vibes. It's very bright and doesn't feel super grimdark. Awesome artillery. Yes, Sons of Eternity. Great shout. Artillery would be exactly the sort of thing I'd like to see in this box. A few Empire Knights. Yeah, you could have gone just like 1 unit, like 1 box of foot infantry, 1 box of knights, a box of 2 artillery. Still feels a little bit light, but yeah, I don't know. That's odd. Nothing new there. Empire is able to amass a wide array of foot-slogging troops, thundering cavalry, powerful war machines, alongside a cast of heroes, priests, and more. Basically what they can do already. Plastic kits. Ah, man. I love these kits that they're bringing back. The dual character, so you've got 1 foot, 1 mounted character with the option for a BSB. I had this box set back in the day, and I turned the banner on the banner that comes in the box from the BSB into something for my Dark Angels, I think. It looks very it looks peak, sort of late 90s, early 2000s Warhammer. That's the vibe I get from it. Obviously, the Demigryph is there. Is that a different one to the one that you could buy already? I don't think... not a Demigryph, that's just a Griffin, right? Imperial Griffin. I think that's the one that you could buy up until very recently, or maybe can still buy. Anyway, still a good kit. Comes with the right size base. Good stuff. Cohort of leaders ready to marshal your army. Yes. Okay, so the Commanders of the Empire set features a pair of mounted and unfoot commanders who are joined by an engineer and captain. So you can spend money and get 4 infantry. Okay. I don't hate that, given how cheap Empire characters are. Normally 4 characters would be more than I'd want, but in Empire 4 characters is probably pretty decent. Sully says the AOS model, yeah, the old one. It's a full Griff you Muppet. Yeah, I corrected myself. Get out of here. Gotta have you, Callum. So, what do we got here? So we've got infantry. This is your sword and board or your spears. These are returning plastics, aren't they? Yes, it says that. Then we've got the handgunners and the crossbows. These are solid models. Were they released towards the end of Fantasy? Maybe 7th or 8th edition? Or is it just a new paint scheme that's making them a little bit better? I remember them looking significantly clunkier than this, because these are quite nice. Yes, the age-old flagellants. We all know flagellants are the strongest of all ways to shut down a dragon. So it looks like you're getting 30 flagellants, which is probably about the unit size you'd want to go for if you were running them. Fair. They are a great kit. If you want to run more time or something like that, I'm going to pick them up. Stuart McLean, very new to the game, just been watching some S-Bot meta reviews. Lovely stuff. Glad to have you, Stuart. It's a great game. Come on in. The water's fine. Paint scheme is from Middenheim. Ooh. I am self-confessed to have lore as my weakest pillar of the hobby, but it is, like, fantasy lore is the lore that interests me out of Warhammer. So that's something I should probably look into more. Get Lewis to make more videos, and then I could watch them. Yeah, no, I like these models. If I wanted to do more time, this is definitely where I'd be looking at starting. Or just any sort of, like, ooh, cultists. These are some nice chaos infantry if I want to go down that route. Okay, cool. Glad they're back. We've got, the age-old greatswords. Callum says 7th edition ones. Yeah, 7th edition is relatively recent, I guess, in terms of Warhammer Fantasy models. I really like the greatswords in terms of the models. I hope there's some way to make them good, but I don't feel like there's going to be. If we've got 2 arcane journals, and one of them is Nuln, which is guns, and the other is Knightly Orders, which is knights, and I'm not expecting that to include greatswords because they're not knights. Yeah, I don't know. Not feeling like that's going to be a unit that really benefits from the arcane journal. Maybe there's a ban or a magic item or a spell. Something. Empire Archers. One of the best core choices in the game. Very good stuff. Great models again. I really like this paint scheme they've gone for. It's looking very different to the white and red that I remember from my childhood. But yeah, no, Archers great. You get 20 in a box. Probably all you'll ever need. I like 3 to 4 units of skirmishing archers. We'll see if I like that by the time the arcane journal rolls around. Militia. The free militia. They look great. Again, this is a good if you wanted to go wartime. I think Empire got a lot of new models in 7th edition, which were designed to blend in with the 6th starter ones. Fair. I do like it when they do up-to-date, but still keeping in the same style. That's typically how I like my releases to be updated. But yeah, these look, I think, the clunkiest. Like, towards this bottom right corner here, they're looking pretty good. And then the further up you start getting very static poses. Is the old world expecting a new rulebook or large FAQ to change the anti-infantry meta? Is that way off? I'm expecting some tweaks Q1 next year, but I don't know what we'll see in it. I'm not convinced it'll make infantry great again, but I would be very pleased to be wrong. Cannon and mortar, 2 in a box. Oh, those are classics. Oh, God. This is... Oh, man. This is nostalgia. One of the first armies I think that I had was Empire. Old World Fanatics loving the new goblins, and you missed them on your stream. Gutted. We will be talking about your stats website later on, so gotta be... Mega hats make Empire great again. Or, yeah... make infantry get ahead again. They said they do a 1-year update, but who knows? Yeah, there's definitely something in the pipeline, but we'll see what it actually is. I don't know what the content of it is. And then this is such a great kit. I'm so sad about the rules of the Hellstorm rocket battery because they're bad, but they didn't have to be bad. They could have been okay. Hellstorm volley guns, they're good though. Great kit, and again you get 2 of them. Out walking the dog, interested to listen in. Like I said, if you want to come on at some point, bud, we'll do a chat about it. But we can have a look at it this evening. I like how there's so many returning plastics that they have to put them on multiple lines. That's a good sign. So Empire Knights, these I gotta say, not a huge fan of these. They do feel a little bit derpy. They are, I guess they're fine, but you get 12 in a box, which I like. 10, it would have been very easy to just put 10 in, but 12 is a good start. That lance at the top left looks slightly bent. Not sure how that happens, other than... Pistoliers and Outriders. These models are fantastic. Pistoliers are some of my favourite models in the game, or like the unit is one of my favorites, but unfortunately it just doesn't feel great. Solar Warden says, bring on the gun lines. Well, I'm hoping that Nuln goes the way of Expeditionary Force, and it makes playing guns better in some respect, but doesn't make gun lines necessarily better. So you can play a more mobile gun line and still do okay. Or, like, it buffs a more mobile gun line, instead of just being like, oh, well, if you stand and shoot, you're more likely to table your opponent, because you get, like, a mathematical buff. Sully says, I love dirt panel models, the worse the better. Is that just nostalgia? Because I have that as well. Like, the era that I got into Warhammer, which would be... How old am I? Like 24 years ago, I think. Yeah, about 23, 24 years ago. That sort of like 10-year period after I got into the hobby, that's the era of models I love the most. They said, new units are coming. What could they be? Do you have any guesses? That's a great question. I have literally just skimmed. So what we'll do is we'll have a look at everything, and then I'll see if I can make some guesses. Not all derp is the same. Yeah, that's very fair. Very, very fair. We've got the Demigryphs coming back. That's great. They're one of the best units that Empire have, and they just don't really fit with the Empire list design at the moment. But in a Knightly Orders list, I hope they do. Then we've got this thing, which I have rated very recently on the Tuesday tier list we did, where I said I didn't see a purpose for it, and Ors convinced me. I think we put it in B, something along those lines, because it's incredibly cheap for what it does. I think it was 200 and something points, 200 points and change. John just picked up some of the Heil Thick Boy plastic archers. Love me some Derp Hammer. Yeah, those are classics. Those really are classics. How good does the War Wagon look with them shiny new horses? Okay, so not this one. You mean the War Wagon down the bottom. I've only glanced at it. I'll have to have a look in a second. Some of the derpy models have a lot of character, where model sculpts just tend to look cool. Yeah, they've definitely... I think the actual... If I'm being objective about it, there was a period that was... I want to say something like 2010 to 2016 or 18, where it was just fantastic models, but it still had the flavour of Warhammer for me. Those are my... Like, if I... Not necessarily my favourite, but I think those are the objective best models, in my opinion. Vladimir, no one will buy this battalion one good model out of 60. Well, unless, you know, there's a reason that you want 30 handgunners and 30 crossbows, because I don't know if you can. You can probably kit bash them together. It just depends how the arms line up, I guess. Got a steam tank. Obviously, we're getting that in the kit. I really like the steam tank. I've never owned one. It's one of the few... It's weird when you think back about how many armies you've had. You're like, huh, how have I not ended up with one of these? But, yeah, great stuff. Again, hopefully, maybe Nuln lets you take 2 or 3 of these. Oh, imagine if you could take 3. That would be beautiful. All right. So, thanks to a host of stables packed with fine steed, they don't simply schlep to war on foot. All right. Thus, the Empire Knights Pistoliers Demigryph Knights are returning en masse, joined by a War Altar of Sigmar and the Impregnable Steam Tank. I'm pretty sure there's a subreddit for that. Empire players will never stop buying or playing infantry. They like misery. No, they like the theme. Empire players are like the Imperial Guard players of 40k, in that what's good is kind of less relevant as to what they want, and they want to put a lot of men on the table, and that's kind of the end goal. Everything else is secondary to that. So we got some Forge World resin miniatures. These are really nice. I've never seen these before. I'm assuming these are returning. Let's have a look here. It doesn't actually say anything. Oh yeah, no, it says returning resin up in the top right. So these feel not particularly like Empire to me. If I saw these out of context and you told me they were from some other third-party human fantasy range, I would believe you. Like, there's nothing really about them that screams Empire, apart from, you know, the massive hammer that one of them's holding, and then the feather plumes. Apart from that, they don't feel massively Empire to me. They're nice models, but they just don't necessarily fit the vibe. Mechanical Horse Engineer Wen. Oh, yeah, I remember that. That was classic. Yeah, Entropy, these are classic Forge World ones. Very expensive. They will be, won't they? They'll be like 50 quid or something. Let's have a look here. Here we go. The remastered war wagon. You'll be able to careen around the field with a remastered war wagon. It's had every rivet and bolt resculpted for greater definition. Its horses have been updated with completely new sculpts. Comes with an exclusive new engineer armed with a Hochland long rifle, but it will only be made to order. That's cool. This model is suffering from what we were just talking about. The model being upgraded for no real reason. Like, I don't think that looks particularly Empire. It's fancy, but I don't love it. They've been skipping leg day. Oh yeah, no, good point. Yeah, if we look at these, they have got very narrow legs. They've got very narrow leg armor, I think is the main problem. I like this weird fanatic on the right. I'm assuming he's some sort of priest that we can slot in. BSB is very nice. The new horses look great. Yeah, so I think these horses are, if I just unzoom back out, I think the horses are just the same as the ones from the War Altar. Is that correct? They look like that to me. And then if I go down, the same but with a different head plume. Maybe it's just the same angle, but they look very similar. Hope the war wagon is good rules-wise. Such a sick mini and concept. Yeah, no, absolutely. It's very cool. What's it equipped with? I guess it's a heavy chariot. And it has a bunch of attacks and a bunch of small arms fire. It's an interesting... I don't know what they'd need to do to make that good. Because a bunch of attacks and a bunch of small hour shots... Yeah, if it's cheap, hopefully pretty cheap. That would probably make it. 6 dudes, each one has a different weapon. Oh, I know this is a classic model, but that's the sort of thing that really slows down gameplay. I guess you're not running units of them. Rules for the Hurricanum. Yeah, that would be cool. Total War could have artillery on it. It'd be interesting. So, for me, chariots always get more exciting when you can put a character in there. If you can put a character in there to then provide some sort of layered defences, I'm immediately a lot more interested. 1 halberd, 1 rifle, 1 blunderbuss, 1 great weapon. Yeah, that sounds... Well, that looks like it's probably the case. And then accompanying it is the coveted Empire of Man command set, returning in Forge World resin and comprising as a general, a captain, and a frenzied harbinger of doom. That's these chaps here. Captain. Yeah, cool. Nice stuff. Metal models. One of the steam tank variants has the war wagon boy on top. I'm holding out hope. Yeah, maybe. We were talking about this on Tuesday. We're hoping that the steam tank gets some new variants. With a long history spread across many states, the Empire of Man is home to numerous venerable heroes and units, some of which are an exceptionally fine vintage. You can look forward to a return of classic miniatures like the extremely impressive Standard Bearer, as well as a Witch Hunter, a Gaggler Warrior Priest of Ulrich, and a trio of engineers on foot. Hell yeah. Old World Fanatics surely will get some additional steam tank variants. I would love that. That would be amazing. I'd be a big fan of that. Harbinger of Doom mini. Yeah. The Harbinger of Doom new mini Hero Flagellant. Absolutely. Yeah, that's a good shout. That's a good shout. Because I am thinking of doing Anyway, we'll get to that down the line. So this is your BSB and your Witch Hunter, I guess. That's fine. I'm not in love with them, honestly. The BSB looks... I think it's maybe the very flat colour palette they've gone for, but that is a derpy looking banner. I do not love that. Also, the pose looks very odd. Maybe it's just the angle that the picture's been taken from. If anyone can let me know if it looks better from other angles. People who remember it from yesteryear. And then the Witch Hunter... I don't know. This doesn't scream Witch Hunter to me. This is more Merchant Captain. My child drew this rally, please. That BSB is 8th edition where everyone was very chunky and looked for like apes for Empire. Okay, cool. So there's just no better angle. Sweet. Looks like a pirate, looks wonky. Yeah, these two, they're a miss for me. But these models to the right... Oh, unbelievable. I love this set so much. So, I don't know if anyone remembers the 40k equivalent. There was a I think Heroes of the Chapter, which was 4 Space Marine characters, all 4 captains from different, whatever they were called. They was from the same chapter, different, whatever the groups of 100 were called. Anyway, so you had like a master of the fleet, but they all had like very, they had great posing. They were very individuals. Amazing. And this really is reminiscent of that. You've got 4 very distinct characters. Although if you look at them, they seem to be from different eras. The one on the left looks significantly older than, especially the one right up at the top there. The one at the top has the newest paint scheme. The Luther Huss mini was my favourite for a warrior priest. I remember playing one in Warhammer Online. I never played that. I'm bummed out because I like Warhammer and I enjoy MMOs, so that would have been a cool thing to try out. Hand-to-head ratio is funny. Yeah, now you've pointed that out, I can't unsee it. The bottom one that looks a little bit like... oh, God. I'm so bad with actors' names. Anyway, the bottom one has a slightly better hand-to-head ratio, and we'll leave it at that. But yeah, great models. I love the warrior priests. They're fantastic. Then we've got... These must be priests of Ulrich. Warrior priests of Ulrich. They're fine. I've never massively loved this sort of vibe, the whole wolf cloak. Is it sort of Polish theming? Whatever it is, I'm not huge on it. Hopefully they re-release Luther. He's the only mounted warrior priest of Sigmar. Big gloves, that's cold. Yeah, no, it is cold. I need some big gloves. Then we've got some engineers. Again, classic models. Love them. If you're playing Empire at the moment, you're probably playing a gun line, so you probably want 3 engineers. So this is a great set. You get all that you need. 4th Old World incoming. You have Dwarves, Vampire Cats, and Orcs and Goblins. Hell yeah, yeah. I'm really keen to do some Empire. I don't know what I'll do. Like, I'm probably more interested in playing with knights than I am with a gun line. But you know, we'll see. I'll probably test them both out online. Woot are not in love with the color scheme. That's fair. That's fair. One of my favourite things about Empire is how fractured they are at the moment in the lore, so you've got plenty of options, even if you want to stick to the fluff. Ulrich's biggest fans are around Middenheim, North Empire. That makes sense. They need to wrap up warm. Alright, these are... It doesn't say. Oh, here we go. Grandmasters of the White Wolf, Knights Panther, and Blazing Sun, who are metal with plastic horses. And then the next ones are the Tutagen Guard Warriors in Command, along by a selection of Imperial Ogres. Okay. So these are the Masters of the Knightly Order. That's relevant, because I'm sure we're going to be seeing... Well, we know we're seeing the Grandmasters, or the Knightly Order rules coming in. And then we've got these more Wolf Boys. I like these more than the last ones. Maybe it's just how clunky the old models are. Chest piece helmets, there we go. Nice. Nice. Yeah, these are cool. I'd be interested in seeing a full host of models like this. Like, I'm not sure that I'm super interested in just having these 3 models and then also regular Empire models. Yeah, that's the ones. So I wonder if we'll see more models coming from here. It just says the Warriors and Command. Okay, so maybe we will see the full Warriors set. Interested to see how that ranks up. But if they're returning metal, that's going to be a very expensive unit to put together. Like the old days of going into a shop, buying, 3 blisters and going, that cost me the same as 25 models. Oh, good shout, Callum. You'd be chucking them into a Wolves of the Sea army. Very, very good idea. Then we've got an Imperial Ogre with a cannon. Hell yeah. Now, that screams unit filler to me. There's one more image in there. Oh, are you just talking about the ogre? Yeah, that's good. I mean, it says down here a selection of Imperial Ogres, so I think we're getting more of them. But yeah, that's very cool. Big fan of that. I mean, he's a derpy looking guy, but that's a classic model. I'm assuming that's got to be 80s. Someone who knows can let me know. What else have we got? As usual, this will arrive in several waves of releases. We've got more to come, including some brand new characters and miniatures. Another substantial made-to-order release winging its ways in from the earlier days of Warhammer Fantasy Battle. That's cool. This is a good release. Like, this is a good preview. There is a lot of stuff here. Is there anything that we think is missing? What do we got? So, we've got the War Wagon. We've got 1 million characters. We've got the Steam Tank. We've got the Lecter. Demigriffs. So we've got all of the knights. We've got all of the artillery, I think. We've got all of the foot troops. I don't think we're missing anything. This feels pretty solid. Winging. Wing. Not sure what you mean, Entropy. But he wanted the names of the army. My dreams are a regiment of renown as those. Yeah, so the names are in here. Let me just scroll back up. Here we go. Oh, sorry. So you wanted the actual names, not just the content. So we got the city-states of Nolan and the knightly orders. Missing a dragon. A dragon in a human army? That could never happen. Looks like a more modern sculpt that is done in the style of a classic ogre. Really? Halfling hotpot. Yeah, there's none of the halflings have made it in. That is a fair point. Seems like they're going to release actual new units. Yeah, good point, OGCC. So what are we expecting as new units? Well, because it's known, I'd expect to see some sort of Demigriff character. Yeah, I mean, you can make a Demigriff character just from the set, right? They're pretty nice kits, and then if you wanted, you could kit bash them with the new, or the returning old characters. I wonder if the knights can also be taken with hammers instead of lances. It's not something I'd recommend from a rules perspective, but I think from memory, or maybe that was a metal upgrade kit, actually, the great hammers. I assume there will be a way to do that, given that they're specifically doing Arcane Journal for the Knightly Orders, and one of the most famous ones is the hammers. Of course, I can't remember who it is that has the hammers. Knightly Order box used to have a sprue for the great weapons, yeah. Cool. I really like this. I really like the gun wagon here. That's cool. Alright, cool. Well, Knights of the White Wolf. Yes, very good. Let's go back, and we've got 2 green skins. So I had a very quick skim on these ones, and I don't think there was really much in the Orcs, the Orc War Clans, that I was particularly interested in. If we just have a quick skim down. So I guess if you wanted to do Chaos Dwarf Hobgoblins, you've got a very fitting Khan here. Oh no, there was something. Yes, we'll get down to it. I mean, terrain, if you wanted to do some sort of terrain. Here we go. This is a good set, I think. If you wanted to make... I'm assuming that it fits, but you've got 2 templates here that are great to just put on a 5mm template, as long as they fit. A 5-inch template, blast template, to have your Foot of Gork. And then this skull with the fire, if you put that on a 3-inch template, this would be a great pillar of fire for an Orc army. So I think these are really cool for that. A couple of Foot of Gorks and a pillar of fire, or you could summon elemental spirits with that. That feels very orky. I'm not sure there are any other small blast templates that you particularly care about, but if there are, those are quite nice to use. And then these are all just existing models, but in a different box, and I don't think any of them are particularly amazing for Orcs and Goblins. Skull thing would be nice for Spiritual Vortex or Phantasmagoria. Yeah, no, very true. It might get a bit expensive if you're only making 1 template out of it, but I guess if you're doing that, you've got this fetid pool that you can maybe do something with as well. Yeah, cool. The only thing I'm excited for here for the Orc War Clans is the what are they called? Endless spells? Manifestations? Yeah. Cool. These were significantly more exciting. So, in fact, let's just... If I put it on mute, we can probably get away with putting this on. Let's have a look. Yes, Warhammer Age of Sigmar. I want to see what they do. Do they have any fancy shots? Snarlpack Cavalry. Gutted this was today when I had to work. Someone told me Sunday. Oh, what, the release? I can't say I've ever watched one of these live. Maybe that's something I should do. Ah, there's the chariots. The chariots are cool. Bulk up your mob. Guess you'll have to watch later. Hey, no worries, Andy. I might cut this and put this out as a separate video, just for ease of viewing. And then it's just books and more shots. Yeah, cool. So these are cool. So it comes with, it's called a Git Mob Army Set. Now these are typically in the range of like 110 or more, right? I'm out of touch with Games Workshop pricing. When they release these sort of book plus army sets, how much do they typically cost? Is it like 110, 120 quid? I think it's quite expensive for what you get. Day after you finish an army, they release these goblins. Yeah, well, they are truly one of the armies you could buy. The chariots are beautiful. I don't know that any of the rest of it really does it for me, but they are great. So there's this guy, and he is he's a big lad. He's not really got a chin, which is not the heroic leader that I'm necessarily looking for. So, not sold on that. The wolves look great, though. Everything about this model is amazing, apart from the fat guy on top. Not a fan. Let's have a look what else we got. I've got an evil son on the shield. Classic Orcs and Goblins. Big fan of that. Battalions typically cost the same price as buying a resin printer down here in Oz. Yeah. It's a shame, isn't it? I need to pull my finger out and fix my printer. Let's have a look here. So we've got the Snarlpack Cavalry. These are cool, but they must be pretty big, right? Because they've got 2 goblins on, and they don't look cramped. I need a strong, defined Giga Chad chin for my general. Yeah, I'm looking for a strong Johnny Bravo to carry me through. That's what John loves the chunky goblin lord. Hey, it's for all tastes. There's nothing wrong with liking it. It just doesn't do it for me. I want my heroes to look typically heroic. Yeah, these models are lovely, but again, I don't really know what I'd do with them. You could, if you wanted to play loads of chariots, you could use these pulling chariots for characters, and then use the other chariots just as chariots. That might be cool. You'd have to kit bash up some chariots, but, you know, that's not a problem. Look at these beauties, though. They are nice. They are real nice. It's funny enough, I was looking at chariots yesterday, because, as we'll get onto later, I've got to write a list for next weekend's tournament, and, yeah, these are beautiful, and the models that currently exist, not beautiful. £26 for a single metal and plastic kit. Mangler squigs for a common goblin army. Maybe? I don't know, that feels like it might be a little bit confusing if you're playing other goblins riding wolves. Maybe you make it like very obvious by the basing or something like that. Then it comes with a book, and then it comes with this, which is an interesting model. So it's got a yak on it, which is different. First Warhammer yak I'm aware of, and then it's got a Doom Diver. But it feels very Noblar Scrap Launcher. That's the vibes I'm getting from it. Combination of that and also the Doom Diver. It's an interesting model. I quite like it, but I can't see much of a use for it. Unless you wanted to go fancy with your Doom Divers and you didn't like the old ones, but I really do. And also this will probably cost you 60 quid, so... I think that's it. Oh, and then there's a character on Chariot, which is... This feels... if anyone's seen the Lord of the Rings chariots, this is very reminiscent to me of the Lord of the Rings chariots. Let me just... Let's have a look here. Lord of the Rings. I hope they haven't got rid of them. Oh, it's not in The Hobbit, is it? It's Lord of the Rings. How does one get to Middle-earth? Lord of the Rings evil. Then can you filter? Filter to... I think it's Eastlings. Oh no, it's whatever the other Farharad. Maybe. It's not the Farharad. Oh, I'm out of my. Here we go. Varrigs of Khand. This is what I was thinking. Obviously, both very Mongol inspired. Oh, you can't see him here. Let's see if this is any better. A little bit. So you can see there's it's a very Mongol style chariot, and that was what I was getting from this. But you know, now that I've looked at them both back to back, not particularly close. One does not simply get to Middle Earth. No, it did take me a while. I definitely didn't walk there. Take the top off, then use the bottom for a chariot. And yeah. Cool. These are cool. Wait, hold on. More pictures. Oh, hell yeah. I do love a mad goblin caster. That's very cool. Big fan of that. Yeah, these are models that I could definitely see importing over to Orcs and Goblins for fantasy. And then they've got some art, and that's that. And I think that's about it for the previews. I don't think there's anything we're missing. No. Although I did have a look at the Eldar models, and they were pretty snazzy. New, what are they called? Autarchs? Whatever you call them. God, I'm so out of touch with 40k. And I think that's about it. Anything that I've missed? Any thoughts that you've got for the Old World reveals? Anything you're super excited about? Phoenix Lords. Thank you, Dylan. It was one of those I knew it was wrong when I said it, but I couldn't quite grasp it. Hey! Existence as well. Beaten to the punch. Beaten to the punch. Cool. Well, I think it might be time to have a look. The Warp Lady. Warp Spider Lady is very nice. Yeah. Very cool model. Cool. Yeah, let's have a look at the Old World Rankings website. So I just get Empire and High Elves out of the way to get to the good stuff. Oh! So we have got a fantastic new website here. It is regional, so you can see we've got Australia, Canada, and we've now got United Kingdom. There's the US as well. We got some updates. This is well integrated. So this is made by Gobbo of Old World Fanatics. It is a labour of love. It is, as I understand it, scraping information from BCP, which is how most of the stats are in. I think he is working with someone, I'm assuming, to get some like the non-BCP tournament data on there as well. But I'm not sure. I don't want to put words in his mouth. Hopefully it'll come on at some point and we can talk about it, promote it fully. But if you do like the work he's doing, do go over to Old World Fanatics, the YouTube channel. Show him some love there. They do great stuff. Link, yes, I should put this in the description. And also, up at the top, he's got a donate and a coffee link if you want to support. It's just fantastic to have someone putting actual stats out there into the world. It's more of what we need, so big fan of that. Okay, so if I just edit this here, I can whack it into the description. Old World Fanatics. So what I've done is the description should be updated. I'll whack it into the chat as well if I can. And that is there for you. Perfect. Yeah, it's great. It's great. It's got all sorts. So if we just have a quick look through. So on the dashboard, starting off there, you can see number of tournaments. There are regional players, as in how many players. So currently there are 1,000 players in the UK who have gone to a BCP tournament. Top 5 players, you can click on this and go to the full rankings, which we'll get to in a second. Upcoming tournaments is amazing. I don't know where he's got this from. I guess it's just from BCP. Yeah, it looks like it's just from BCP. But this is amazing, because it's really hard to find tournaments. So just anywhere that we can have a collection of upcoming tournaments together is good stuff. Maybe this will be expanded on, but as it is, it's great. You can just keep an eye on, see what's coming up over the next month or so, I guess. A lot of stuff in here. We've got definitely Rob's events. Does New Recruit as well? Oh, hell yeah. That covers basically everything. Like New Recruit and BCP. What more could you need in life? Let's go back to here. What else have we got? So these are some of my favorites. So we've got tournament appearance, and then we've got faction win rates as well. So tournament appearance, you can see that we've got a lot of Warriors of Chaos, 224, all the way down to Skaven, 31. I am 10 of those. Or is that... No, that's not per game, so that's per tournament. So I'm 2 of those. That's not quite as exciting. Where's this England? Huh. But yeah, interesting. So you can see, in terms of play rates, Warriors, Orcs and Goblins, Bretonnian, Tomb Kings, Dwarves, the top armies. All armies with model support at this point, so this makes sense. High Elves and Empire, another 2 armies that are core factions, but a little bit harder to get hold of, but still not too bad. They had releases up until more recently than some of the other stuff. Then we've got Vampire Counts and Wood Elves, who are both very good, but hard to get models for. I guess Vampire Counts not at all, actually. You can just get the Age of Sigmar stuff. Beastmen, who had their entire line discontinued not very long ago. And then Dark Elves, Chaos Dwarves, all the way down to my Skaven at the bottom. Win rates are good as well. I don't know if you saw, Gomo, I was asking on Discord what you've decided your acceptable win rate data is, because if you factor in draws, it's not going to be a 50-50 win rate on average. The average win rate sits around, I think, like 46-47%, something like that. I don't know if you've taken that into account already. But we've got Dark Elves sat just below 45, or at 45%. Oh, yeah, there we go, 45 to 55% on the balance range. Okay. Skaven sat down languishing at a 28%. That's a little bit rough. And Chaos Dwarves are the one army who look too strong. Gonna have to get Tom to stop playing them. But yeah, this is good stuff. He's in the UK. So where's this England all the... Yeah. So you can... Let's have a look, for example, at America. I'd be interested to see if there's any differences. A lot more Bretonnians here. Interesting. So Orcs and Goblins and Warriors and Chaos are lower. High Elves, Wood Elves are lower as well. Mostly follows a trend. And then win rates. Chaos Dwarves are... Wow, super underrepresented. I guess it's if you got a couple of specialists that play them. So there's not currently a global view. I wouldn't be surprised if that is something that turns up later on down the line. But right now it's just these. This feels like there's missing some factions here. Maybe. Maybe not. More Skaven players in the US. Good for them. Less win rate, but, you know, more players. Or actually, I think it might be a higher win rate. Luna, with her absolutely stonking tournament case. We need to pick our game up over here. Just have one person dominating. That'd be good. But yeah, let's go back to the UK. So, yeah, great stuff. Faction win rates, faction leaders as well. This is pretty cool. So you can see who is the top of each faction. So currently we've got Beastman, Jack Cropper. I know Jack. Brett Exiles is up for the taking. If anyone wins an event, a 2-day event, they probably take the spot here for Brett Exiles. Chaos Dwarves, we've got Tom, who has got a good whack of points there. Matt Howley coming in third. Demons, we've got Russ Ward, some names that I don't recognise. Dark Elves, hey, it's me. I think I might take Dark Elves. This is one of the things that's pointing me towards taking Dark Elves next weekend, just to make sure I cement my my place on the leaderboard. Dwarves, we've got Richie in first place, not surprising. Empire, Jack Allen in first place, great stuff there. Not a single person playing Errantry Crusade, which is interesting. We've got one player with Expeditionary Force. I don't know if that's just a case of the stats not being scraped correctly. I feel like Richie's taken Expeditionary Force to at least one event. But you might need to have it very explicitly listed for BCP to pick it up. Important to note, you score points even if you don't play, so bring Exiles and come 10th, you'll still be number 1. Yeah, that's true. Well, it's Errantry Crusade you do. Exiles, you'd have to do a little bit of work. Errantry, you need to do some things. Herald's Darkness, David, I'm coming for you, David. I think I want to do a couple of events with Heralds of Darkness. That'd be cool. High Elves. Not recognizing names here. Pip in second for Lisbon. He's very upset about this, but he has been away working in Sweden, so you're just going to have to deal with that. Mortuary Cult. Kevin, Bryn, Ramsey. I think Ramsey's score there is from the one event he went to with Mortuary Cult where he had to drop. So that's a 3-0 at a 5-game event. Nothing for Royal Hosts yet. Nomadic Y. There's some great breakdown here. I'll be honest, I'm mostly just looking to see if I recognise people. Hey, Matthew Sinclair, supporter and friend of the channel, is in second for Orcs and Goblins. That's cool. Jack's in first on Skaven. I'm in second. I need to pull my pants up and go to more events, obviously. What else have we got here? Liam, Troll Horde. Good for you, Liam. Some Armies of Infamy still being updated. That's super fair. Like, this is such a professional website you've put together already. Do note it says beta up in the top here. If anyone has any complaints, you can resubmit that complaint as feedback because it is in beta. Not every tournament had to track right. Yeah, cool. No, this is great stuff. A huge fan of what you've done here. Tom is coming in first, Walls of the Sea, 87 points, and then Keith Wilkinson for Wood Elf Realms. Nicholas Boucher. I was thinking about playing some Wood Elves, but I'm bored of them already. So I kind of want to get them done as a hobby project, but they're kind of just too strong. I'm not really enjoying playing them. How are you tracking online events? So are you going to include the SBOT results by any chance? Only asking because my SBOT results are going to be really good. While we're waiting on that, let's have a look at what else we've got here. So we've got a 2024 season Masters ranking. So how is the ranking score calculated? Oh, hell yeah, this is great. I love a good bit of transparency. If you were using the rankings from the ITC for 40k or Age of Sigmar, they do not tell you what you've got. So, only top 3 results for each player in the current season are considered. Good, this is good. 10 plus players, 3 plus rounds, and it has to be, it's 80 to 100 points based on a 3, 4, or 5 plus rounds. Cool. Point calculation. So you get more, you get multipliers, and then you adjusted based on the final ranking. Okay, so the highest you can score at an event is 100. So if you got 3 100s, you'd be as high as possible. Just as a side note, for 40k, they release a whole bunch of new detachments. Haven't yet opened to that. What you've used, maybe filter out for separate regions for online since global. Yeah, I mean, maybe that's just something that you roll in when you look at doing global rankings. And maybe it doesn't fit under... Although, to be fair, SBOT is... It's in regional pods. I don't know. I don't think there's a clean way of doing it under this current system. Maybe they would just apply to global rankings and they wouldn't apply to regional rankings. So then you've got a breakdown here. This is great stuff. Like I say, love a bit of transparency. Big fan of that. So keep in mind that the top score you can have is 100. Ramsey is coming in hot with a 97.9, a 92, and a 90. That is going to be pretty hard to beat. What else have we got here? John Dale got the first 100, and he's got, is that 2 wins and 2 draws? Cool. Tom is doing well. I'm down here at 11th. My first 2 scores are good, so I've got a first place, and I got I want to say it was 6th or 7th at LGT, which is a big event. And then I've dropped off to, I'm not sure what my third result is. Does it tell me here? A foray. Ah, yes, a 2-1-2 with Skaven is my third highest result. I've got to step that up. I need to stop playing silly armies and just start winning games. some approval there from Archie for James Ramsey for a game he doesn't play. I appreciate your support. Looking good, though. Yeah, no. Now there's an actual leaderboard. I'm way more motivated to try and climb that leaderboard. I got to... so you can see here that I've taken Skaven and Dark Elves to events. And I played Orcs and Goblins when I was bad. Got to step that up. how are we looking on Liam Jordan? Doing well as well in the top 20. Nicholas, 26th, couple of thirds and a second. Very nice. Yeah, good stuff. Then this was the tournaments list. We've looked at that already, and I think there was one more tab that we haven't looked at, which is players. I've got it cut off just so the rest of it is more readable, but down the left-hand side you can see that there is a database of players. I guess this is literally just so you've got, like, you can see who you've pulled data from. Fair enough. This feels more back-end. I don't know if this needs to be front-end. I'm not sure if there's anything. What if I search myself here? If I click it, does it just take it to my... Got to show up the fancy landing page. Oh, the fancy landing page. I skipped the fancy landing page. Let's go straight to that. How do I get to the fancy landing page? Maybe if I just go to the different awards. Hell yeah, look at that. That is a fancy landing page. Sign up your regional league. Hell yeah. This is interesting. Oh, okay. So you can see, I've just clicked on it when I didn't want to click on it. So it's nice to be able to see at a glance the sort of representation that each system's got. Interesting that Australia and Canada are very similar in terms of tournament play. That's cool. Yeah, cool stuff. Oh, and then you've got a live tracker here. Are these just cycling through the most recent results? I guess because results are going to come in weekly. You don't need to have it literally updating live. So this is just a top cut of the interesting stats, I'm assuming. This is cool. This is fantastic. This is exactly the sort of thing that I was hoping to see. So do make sure that you pop in. You've got a login, you've got pricing. I'm not sure if, again, this is just back end. Completely free. Supporting dev. Hell yeah. Hey, there he is. Next to Warhammer World. And then we've got the links as well. Fantastic. Yeah, so this is a great website. I'm going to be referencing a lot. I'm assuming a lot of you are going to be checking this out. If you do feel like you want to, there are multiple ways here to support them. There's the Patreon, there's the YouTube channel. Definitely go over there, give them a follow, subscribe, all of that good stuff. And also, if you want to, there is a PayPal link or a coffee link there if you want to donate as well. I will be doing on payday, but it is not currently payday. Paul Williams, I'm losing every game in the S-Bot. Can we see if I'm in line for the wooden spoon? Paul, we absolutely can. We should have a look at some Google Sheets. Okay. So this is my spreadsheet. Let's have a look here. Why is this looks different to how I left it. Ah, there we go. That's why. Reset. Cool. This is how it should be. All right, Paul, what is your username? What is your name on here? Because if we filter out the dropped players as well. I haven't put in the week 5 stats yet. That's something that I'll be doing this evening and over. Rogue Trader. Okay, you're not doing too bad. You're currently 4th from bottom, so you could be doing a lot worse. Could be doing a lot worse. What have you managed to achieve? Looks like you've had some rough games so far. Yeah. All right, cool. Well, let's get on to building a list. Because I have got to take a list to... It's been fun. What army? High Elves. He's playing High Elves. Yeah, so we've got to write a list. And I have been offered the opportunity to lend a load of goblins. But then I'd have to be really careful with them and look after them. And also I don't have the chariots. And I was looking at picking up some chariots. But the chariots are a little expensive. And also now there are new cool goblin chariots. I also thought about buying just an entire Wolves of Herald's Darkness list, but that didn't feel particularly wise. So I think we're going to be playing. I think we're going to be playing Dark Elves, and in fact, let's get over to. There we go. That looks better. So if I just. Okay, so let's build a Dark Elf list, and I think. I don't know if I want to go double dragon. Maybe we do something different. Single dragon. Let's see what we're working with here. So obviously if we're going Dark Elves, we're taking a dragon anyway. So full plate, sea dragon, cloak, dragon, and then just the standard loadout if you're going full defensive. And I feel like full defensive is probably the way to go. Shilagron, Pendant of Kaleth, 520 points. Demonology, Smash Face Caster. Nearly had me buying the Herald's list. Yeah, no, that's super fair, Rat Bastards. It's much better to just buy like a generically good Chaos list. I'm reticent and that I want the Herald's list to work. I think those chariots are really cool, so I want to make them work. Although it has now been pointed out to me that a couple of the Demonette chariots do have counter charge as well, but they're so squishy. I don't know how you make them work. Wolves of the Sea Time. Yeah, absolutely. Not for me. I don't have the models. Alright, so if we're doing this, we'd go Supreme Sorceress, level 4, Dark Steed. Callum wants a Demonology Smash Face Caster. Do you think that's worth going for? Alright, let's start with that. Let's go Demonology. I mean, if we're doing that right, we're going Lore Familiar, because you can't afford to not get the spells you need. Black Horror Spam with Word of Warlock. No. Do not take a level 4 Demonology caster without the Dragon Sorcerer. Oh, you want... I see. So you want to see a level 4 on Dragon going Demonology. Let's have a look at how that would look. So if we're going for double Dragon, you can't go Shield of Grond, unfortunately. It doesn't fit. So you don't need this Shield of Might, the Sword of Might, so you go Great Weapon, you go Shield. So this is your bare bones Dreadlord. The Cold One version is underwhelming due to challenges of potentially ruining it. Yeah, that's fair. So we're going to go Demonology, we've got a Lore Familiar, and we're going to go Talisman of Protection. Let's assume that we're willing to risk not taking the Lore Familiar and we go for the Tome of Furion, and that we just roll the spell we need. Is there a weapon that is worth taking here? I'd want Jeweler's Blades, but there's no way we can get them in terms of points, right? Got 29 points. So I could go Sword of Might, which would get me up to 2 attacks at Strength 4 AP1. Strength 4 AP1, which becomes 3 attacks at Strength 5 AP2. That's fine. That feels fine. It's not amazing, but it's okay. And then we're just playing around. So for anyone who's not picked up what we're going with, basically the whole play is that we're playing around with Demonic Vessel for +1 to strengths and attacks and AP. And also, if you want to go for it, you can go for Demonic Figure for +1 toughness. Okay, I'll see what I can do, Callum. Good luck. So this is what we've got here, and then core, I've got just a very set core, and especially I don't really want to paint or buy more core, so we're just going to rock with what we've got. 2 units with all the upgrades and a musician, and then 1 unit with just shields and cavalry spears, repeated crossbows. Cool. So this is the standard setup, and that leaves us with 500 points. That's so many cold ones. I own a lot of cold ones now. I own like 15, so I'm kind of just thinking, should we just play around with loads of cold ones? So if we go... This list probably doesn't need I can't believe the Banner of Hargoneth's only 25 points. Yeah, this unit probably doesn't need to have a ruby ring. Saw the article, you're at least picking up the Imperial Griffin for your Nippon-themed Empire army and go from there. Hell yeah. Empire are great. I'm really looking forward to playing some. They are really nice models. Like, they're very, very nostalgic for me. What if we go... Hold on, let's just get stupid with this. What if we go... Obviously, you can't have the Banner of Hargoneth, but if we give you the Ruby Ring of Ruin... Okay, so that doesn't quite work points-wise. Double 5-man cold ones if you don't go double dragon. Yeah, but what if I do both? I feel like 5 is too low. I don't love 5. Too many cold ones. Ah, but the Dark Elf cold ones are pretty solid. I do like the Dark Elf cold ones. So, what if we just drop the Sodomite? What if we just accept that all I'm doing is buffing this character? At which point do we go Power Scroll? Empire Starter Box being all foot no mounted as a trap. Yeah, I agree, unfortunately. So all I've done is put myself back where I was. But if I'm here, is there a way I can shave 13 points off? Tome of Fury and Power Scroll Demonology. This is... I mean, this is a lie. It's... Let's edit this name. Double Dragon. Double Cold One Knights. I feel like it just doesn't quite fit. Like, I could go down to 2 units of 6, but that feels not great. I could just drop musicians. Like, I'm a big fan of musicians, but if I just drop them, it kind of works. Or, this unit drops the Dread Knight. No, hold on. Sorry. This unit drops the Dread Knight. So I've got 7 that can't be challenged out. That's probably correct. And then the unit that's more likely to be casting spells drops the Musician. Make the second unit champion only. Oh, that's way better. Yeah. I can get rid of here. Yeah. And then I can put back on here. I can put that. Do I want to put back the champion? Because then I can just get challenged out. I don't know if I want to do that. I guess I can always refuse the challenge. This is truly a list. This is truly one of the lists that I could run. I don't know that I need to do that, but it is an option. What else are we looking at here? So this is not a list that I'm necessarily interested in, but the double Cold One Knights is interesting to me. So what if we just went with the tried and tested, you know it's good, Tome of Furion, double Focus Familiar, and Ruby Ring of Ruin. And then we're going to put you on a core Dark Steed. Then we go for a level 2 Sorceress, level 2 Dark Steed. Battle Magic, you get the Lore Familiar and double Focus Familiar. Okay. At this point, we have more stuff to play around with because I can drop the Ruby Ring of Ruin here. Great. So I can go back to having full command. And I could go up to 7. I don't know that I want to go up to 8. 7 feels fine. That gives me 50 points to play around with. Is there anything exciting that I could take for 50 points? How are we feeling about this? I don't think there's anything super jazzy. Or 106 points. I could take a cheap master and put that in there. Does that actually get me anything? Because the master's only got +1 attack, right? It's better weapon skill. It's +1 attack. It's got strikes first. Take the Chariot Beastmasters. Honestly, not a bad shout, but I don't own one. 160 points, right. So that doesn't actually fit in this list. That's good, because I don't want to have to buy one. Not sure you don't want a magic Standard if you don't put a magic banner on it. That's fair. That is fair. So this one, unless there is a magic standard we look at. Plus D3 combat res is fine, but we're not kind of tooling that up for combat res, are we? 106 points. We can't get a master plus BSB plus cold one. No, God, no. Nowhere near. We'd have to shave too much. Although I could go... Right, hold on. We're cooking. Let's do this. So we go Ruby Ring of Ruin here. Then we take off the Ruby Ring of Ruin on the level 4. So she just has Tome of Fury and Double Focus Familiar. That feels fine. 136 points. BSB, we'll come back to that. And we'll just go Lance, Full Plate, Shield. No. Cold one. How many points I got? 13. Go for a Charmed Shield on 30 points over. And this unit goes down to 5 models. It's interesting. It's definitely interesting. Put the banner on a big brick for combat res. Yeah, there's no. I'm not playing around with infantry. I've got my Dark Elf collection is basically 24 Dark Riders, 2 dragons, 15 Gold One Knights, 15. No, probably about 22 shades. Not that I've got any in this list. And yeah. I don't even have these two, but I could probably kit bash them together, the Supreme Sorceress. Like, that doesn't feel like it would be an issue. And it also means I don't have to paint very much. So this is an option. This is an option. Although if I'm taking a BSB, I kind of want to put a War Banner on. But I don't know how that works. 17 points too many. I think I have to drop too much to make that work, right? No, you don't have to apologize, buddy. I'm also super underwhelmed by Dark Elf Infantry. They're just they're not tanky enough to do anything particularly exciting, in my opinion. Okay, so we take that off. I don't think this is worth doing. I think I'm not indexing hard enough in, unless I went... Yeah, let's just get rid of that. So the cooking was not... not worth. So we go Ruby Ring back on you, take the Ruby Ring off you, and then we just go Musician. 7, 8, 20 points left to spend. This is fine. Put a Musician on here, and then I've got 15 points. Could just go for another Focus Familiar, or is there anything for 15 points that's worth putting on you? A Luckstone single-use reroll, that's not worthwhile. Oops, not that. I can't even click. Lodestone for Magic Resist wouldn't be awful, honestly. Yeah. Sword of Might of the Dragon. Yeah, so... oh, shit, yeah. I've not loaded out the dragon correctly because I've swapped back to single dragon, but I haven't given him the full defensive loadout, which is the Shield of Grond. I get to drop that shield here. So then I'm 43 points over, but I'm also running so many cold ones. That's annoying. So we lose the Musician. Oh yeah, and then this Musician can go away. And then I've got 5 points remaining. This feels fine, right? So you've got... The core is fine. That doesn't need tweaking. The dragon is the optimal defensive dragon, which is probably what I'm looking for here. The sorceress is level 4 on a steed, battle magic, ruby ring, double focus familiar. Still have great weapon. Oh, thank you. Good shout. Do I care? Are there going to be any high elf players there? No, there's not. So then I can put back musician on this. I mean, this is a list. Yeah, the models for the Hageneth executions are lovely. I really like the vibe of Dark Elves. I think they look fantastic. It's just the rules that are a bit more limiting. This looks good. I like this. This is a solid little package, I think. So this is the single dragon version with 2 units of Dread Knights, neither of which it needs to be shooting. They're just melee. So I've got 1, 2, 3 crunch units. How many drops have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, plus 2 characters and 2 scouts. Yeah, that's cool. Huh. That might work, you know. I'd need some more Pillar of Fire templates, but that could work. That looks solid to me. How does the list look if I go double dragon? Let's try that. Duplicate. Double single dragon. Double dragon. Okay, so if we're doing that, we're going dragon. Get rid of you. This becomes the very cheap, very efficient loadout. We drop the Sword of Might and we drop the Shield of Grond. 9 points available. Need to change the Ruby Ring for Talisman Protection. There we go. Which means this unit drops down to 6 and gets a Ruby Ring and drops the Musician. So we've got 6 that shoot and we've got 7 that slap. And we're 29 points over. 29 points is an inconvenient amount to cut. It's a very inconvenient amount to cut. So I could go down to 5 for the shooting unit. Does that make a difference? Probably drop the 6 to a 5, yeah. But then this unit doesn't feel super multi-purpose. I think I like it more when they're not casting and I've just got them as 2 melee units. Is there a way to make that work? So let's just play around with the loadout. What if we did go for the Demonology Caster? That was what I've got here, right? So you've got the Demonology Caster, Power Scroll to get the important spell off. We've gone for the... This is the... Oh yeah, you've got to go for the cheap loadout. You can't go for the expensive loadout. That's fine. If I drop the Power Scroll, I could give this character the Shield of Grond and just go Lance. That seems okay. I don't know if I want to go for that. Is that important? Let's say no. And then we've got 7 and 6. And again, we've got the shooting here. I don't love that. I kind of just want to have an extra aggressive unit. Hey, no. Enjoy the rest of your day, Tanaka. I kind of feel like this list here is the one I like the most, and it's something new. It's something I haven't played around with, but 2 dragons is pretty cool. If I face the poison meta, I just get real sad. So maybe we go double dragon. Can I fit the spell scroll in here? No, I could not. I mean, this list is fine, right? What am I losing? I'm losing the shades from the last event I played with this. And I'm gaining another unit of Cold War Knights, but this unit is just aggressive. But that's not really how the list plays, is it? I don't know. I'm not enthused by this. It doesn't spark joy, that's for sure. Okay, well, I think that's probably going to be about it for the evening, unless there's anything that anyone wants to go over. Demonology with Focus Familiars, so we can potentially swap them off a scroll. What do you want for... So, Demonology, what are you looking for Focus Familiars for? So, the Summoning's fine. Steed of Shadows is irrelevant in this list. Gathering Darkness is not a particularly great spell. Demonic Familiars, it doesn't work on. Oh, good without. Sorry. Yeah, I was. No, that's fine. Typo's a typo. Yeah, I was like, oh man, what's good in there? Maybe you should take the other cold ones like Lizardman. I don't own Lizardman, and the whole point of this is that I don't have time to build and paint an army. I want to tell me what's wrong with the Seawolf list before you buy it on Monday? Hell yeah. Yeah. Have you sent it to me on Discord? Everything before the Empire release has just been like the orchestra tuning up. Yeah. No, Adam, that's accurate. There are typos that say the opposite of what I mean. That's fair. Will do now. Cool. I'm just going to open up your DM, if that's okay. I don't think you've sent anything that is at risk of being leaked. But I will do that unless you type in chat not to in the next sort of 20 seconds. In fact, I'm just going to have to make a new scene, duplicate, done, and the... What are we looking for here? There we go. Look at Discord. And if I just unlock this and put it like so. Slide in my DMs. Where's the Lizardman list? Existence, I don't own Lizardman. So while we're just double checking to make sure that that Rat Bastard is okay with me opening up on stream. In fact, he might have just put it into here. The reason that I didn't put out a video yesterday and haven't got time or enthusiasm to paint a full list later, Arch, I am at risk of being made redundant, which is fun. So I'll be honest, pretty unenthused to do anything on Wednesday. I don't know that I'm going to be made redundant, but got to consider my options, basically. So that's what I was doing. But yeah, if anyone's hiring for a good work from home job, let me know. Something I should look into. Yeah. Great time of year, isn't it? The consultancy period ends on the 20th of December. I was full of fire and fury when I was initially told, full of piss and vinegar, but we've been given more details and they're being a bit more reasonable about it than I thought they were. But, it is what it is. Matthew, sorry late, called your S-Bot game early. Did you win? I hope you won. All right, the text is too long. That's fine. Let's have a look at what we're working with here. So I might just need to zoom out on this screen. Can you tell? This is I'm still getting to grips with Streamlabs compared to the previous system. Okay, so let's have a look at this. What are we working with? So Wolves of the Sea. We've got a Sorcery Lord, level 4 Nurgle, Demonic Mount, Spell Familiar, Infernal Puppet, Demonology. This is a solid loadout. This is all good. Exalted Champion, 247 with Mark Nurgle, Demonic Mount, Giant Blade. I don't like Giant Blade. I know you get to AP1 with Demonology, but I just feel like if you're going for some sort of build, you'd be better off going for a Ogre Blade or something like that. Crown of Everlasting Conquest. Off the top of my head, I think that gives you strikes first, right? I don't love this combo. I'd rather just see an Ogre Blade, I think. That would be better. Favour of the Gods is good as well. And then you've gone for 3 Chieftains with Horse, Mark of Corn. Okay. And then you've got Horseman, Berserks, Skin Wolves, Spawn. They're 170 points, so I'm assuming they're Nurgle. Am I right in thinking that these Chieftains join the Marauder Horsemen? Yeah, this might be a Wolf Star, so extra AP to be gained there. Oh, okay. Yeah. Crowns a 5+ region. Ah, yeah, so it is. Yeah, I guess that's true. So you could get up to AP2. To be fair, test it out, because magic weapons are, that's something that you don't have to buy new models to test. So maybe I'm wrong with that. Maybe in the Wolf Star this does work. I don't know. It's an interesting point. Test it out. Get back to me. I'm curious to see if that works. The 3 chieftains, I'm not super convinced you need. Like, the best thing about the Marauder Horsemen is how cheap they are. Little fire and forget missiles that you just go, I've got Frenzy, so I'm going to have to charge you, but I'm going to do some damage. If you put a character in there, it becomes twice the cost, and it doesn't double the output or the defenses. Yes or no, depending on what works better. Yeah. I mean, I'm assuming the way that you're going to do the chieftains is you're just going to make them from horseman kits. So again, it's not like a real cost there. The core being Warhounds, and then Berserks and Horsemen. This is all solid stuff. Skinwolves, that's solid, and then the spawns are solid. I'm not super in love with these chieftains, but it is just more juice. 3 more mini missiles. That's true. Although they do have Frenzy, and if you have them separate, they'll be 360-degree line of sight missiles. Yeah, I think this is interesting. I think this is really interesting. What are you planning on having as your unit champion to challenge? Is it just the Marauder Horseman? Which is fine. It's not. The chieftains are another Skinwolf unit. That's a good point. You could have another 3 skin... oh, God, no. You could have another 6 Skinwolves. Ooh. Maybe drop some chief for a high number of wolves. Yeah, I think that's a solid shout. Like, a unit of 4 in skirmish would be, like, really spicy here, I think. Challenge guy can be a berserker. I think I like the horseman, because you get the horse attacks. That's fine. Or, oh yeah, you've got the berserker. So you just pick whichever one is more relevant. You can go for the unit of Chaos Warriors, but that is quite an expensive... Like, it's 111 points, I think, to give them additional hand weapons, shields, Mark of Khorne, and just, like, the full kit and caboodle that you'd want to load them out with. But, yeah, no, I think this looks fine. Like, I'd probably change the chieftains for more Skinwolves. I think that's a really good shout. Challenge guy could be a good theme of it. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, it does go off theme. 10 skulls. Yeah, 10 skill wolves is a big ask. That rat bastard is I believe buying it all in one bulk, so I think that's why he's looking to be more certain with it. But like, this is like, there's nothing offensive about this. This list is very much that you could... we'll buy some more wolves. Hell yeah. That's how I do it. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. Just more stuff is good. Yeah. No, that's cool. Yeah, so in terms of... If you're putting a second squad in, I probably wouldn't put the unit champion in the second squad, the one that you're not joining. But having the champion in the squad that you are joining, I think, is correct. Yeah. Nice. Good stuff there. That's fun. Oh, let's not scroll up and leak DMs. Cool. All right. Sweet. Well, on that note... you're welcome, mate. On that note, I'm going to call it there. Thank you, as always. I'm going to get an early night. I've got my S-Bot game tomorrow. Should be fun. And, yeah, I'll have something more... Heathen General, you keep forgetting submit night. So this isn't a fix my list. This is just, I was talking to Rat a little bit. I was saying, I've said to a couple of people recently, I'm at the point where I feel like a lot of the success is directly coming from the community. Like you guys who turn up every week and, actively participate in chat. And I really appreciate you. The least I can do, especially for the classic names who show up all the time, is at least... have a look in, see what you're doing. I will be doing another Fix My List, maybe next week. Maybe that's what we do. But what I'll do is I will have a look at any of the channel members who have submitted lists that I didn't get to, if there's anything in there. And, I put a priority list in there, and I'll just pick up the first ones that come in after that. It's going to be too much hassle to track everyone, not just the channel members. But yeah, thank you all. Hope you have a good evening. And I'm going to wrap up warm. I'm going to wrap myself in a couple of blankets.